Hi everyone, our journal page, and I'm going to use today some of the Painty papers I've done in some time ago video. I will put a link below in the description box for that particular video. It was the I think it was the Revers stenciling, and I've got some Painty papers here from that video that I just put some stuff, sprayed it, and you will see in that video. But of course you can use any Painty paper that you have. I just want to start by putting down some on my page. I'm going to start by gluing pieces. This is not planned, it's just parts of the Painty papers that I like and think that could create an interesting background. And as usual, part of it is gonna get covered because it's a background and it's just the start. Now I'm placing this here, and later on I will trim the excess. Right now I'm just interested in covering my double spread with pieces that are interesting to me, and we'll see what happens. Like I like this one. This was stamped here. It was mostly to clean my stamp, and I had this Painty paper on my desk. It wasn't planned, and lots of times the things that are not planned and just done because they are there are the greatest. That's what I think. So I think I will just I will save it for a next layer. I think maybe this one. Yeah, let's do this one here. So I'm just putting white glue. These Painty papers are on deli paper, which in some countries are not deli paper but sandwich paper, what you wrap your sandwich with, like here. Because if I bought here deli paper, it would be waxed from both sides and can't be used. So I've got another piece here, and let's see. I really like this one. It's very vibrant. So I'm gonna take this one and put it here. Yeah. And I'm planning to go with some gesso on top to go over areas that I want to blend, and just so I won't have harsh lines and everything would look a little more blended. And if I want to cover some part that I don't like, again, that's what I'm going to do with. Let's see. So I've got this another time that I needed to clean my stamp, but it's the same stamp I used here, so maybe I'll just add it like this. Why not? Just playing with the pieces, maybe here like this. And I know that right now it looks like a mess, but that's the whole thing. You're working it until you feel things are in place. So I'm going to put this one here. Don't know if you can see, but I've cleaned another stamp here, so I have a little bit of script. Maybe later on I will reach for the same stamps and add them to the background, just so they will appear in other areas in the background. So maybe now I will use this piece. Yes, this one will go here, and I already got coverage to the background. And I don't know if you can see, but the deli paper is a little bit translucent, so some of it is showing through, but there are lots of details here in the back, so it really doesn't matter. I've got lots of stuff going on here, and I just missed an area here, so I'm just taking a little piece and adding it. Okay, so now I'm thinking how I want to just blend a little bit in several areas. I've got some gesso here, and I want to work it very lightly. I'm not even waiting for the glue to dry, and I'm just working it with my finger. And going very lightly in several places. Just where I think it's needed. There are no rules to it, and it doesn't have to be gesso. I could have taken any acrylic paint, I could have reached for any green and just added again where I think it's need a little bit of blending. Okay, so now I'm going to let this dry. I want to glue down my focal point, and it's from a paper napkin. Now, paper napkins are translucent, especially when you're gluing them, and this is the focal point that I want to use. So when it's dry, I want to well, outline the shape of this, so I can put white in the back so it would pop up more on the page. I don't want, this is quite visible, and I don't want it to take from this image. So this needs to dry, and I need to take this piece out of the paper napkin. Of course, I've already separated the two other plies that I had in the back, and now I'm taking a very thin brush and going around the image. I'm not using scissors. I prefer using this method because when you glue it and it has this kind of edges, it disappears better and blends better into the background. So now I'm just separating it very carefully. From the rest of the paper napkin. And if I need a little bit more water, then I will just go and add a little bit more water. And here we go. I've got my image that I want to adhere to my page. Okay, so background needs to dry, and then I'll come back. Okay, so this is the background is dry. Here is my focal image, and I've taken a watercolor pencil in green just so I can do an approximately marking where I want to put some gesso underneath my image. And I figured it's best to use this because later on, if I can still see it, I can activate it with water and blend it into the background. That's why I'm using it, but it's not really necessary. So I'm just going around And now I'm going to fill this with gesso or white acrylic paint. I think I'll just take, this time I think I'll just take acrylic paint. Well, it doesn't want to get out. Okay, here we go. So I'm only going to fill in white in the whole area that I've put the contour line, and I'm not being very precise about it. It really doesn't matter. I just want my focal image to show on the page and not what's underneath. Of course, I could also adhere this to a white paper and then fussy cut it, another way to go about it, but I just figured I can do it like this. Let's see, where is the line? I think it's here. Yeah. Going about it real quick. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to adhere the paper napkin here. Okay, let's hope this works, and let's blast it a little bit with the okay, next once again some glue here. And let's place it. Okay, so now very gently I'm going over with lots of glue with the flat of the brush so it won't drag. I want it to slide and not drag my paper napkin. I'm moving from the inside towards the outside. And now I only have to wait for this to dry before I continue. So I'll be back. And I'm back. So, like it, still needs work. First of all, I want to, if I already have this and this, I want to continue and spread a little bit more on my background. So I've picked this Spiced Marmalade Distress ink and the same stamp of the butterfly, and I'm just going to stamp it and quite randomly. And I've also picked the same script stamp I had here, and I'm going to use this Distress ink Seedless Preserve. And again, I'm going to do it quite randomly, and here the script is going like this, so I'm just going to continue with the same thing. And again, I'm putting it quite randomly on my page. Yeah. Next, I've got this thing going on here. So I'm going to take again the same thing and from the same set. Well, and I'm going to use this tuxedo black, Memento Tuxedo Black. Now it's already, it doesn't have a lot of ink, but it's working for me because I don't want it a complete black. It will just be in the background, very soft. I don't want it to steal away the spotlight from the rest, from my focal image. Yeah, just a little bit more here, and just maybe here. Okay, got this. Now I want my focal image to stand out more on my background. So first of all, I think I'm going to go around the shapes of the flowers. I'm using a jelly roll, a marker, pencil, pen, whatever you call them, and I think that I will just go in several places like so. Not all of them, just several of the petals, just to make them more distinct. And then I want to add some dark green in between and close to my flowers, so they will be more visible on the page. Something like that. So several ways to go about the dark green that I want around my flowers. I thought about using another distress ink with either a brush or a Q-tip, just to go in between. Let's see, where did I put my Q-tips? Okay, here we go. One Q-tip to the rescue, and I can just go like this. And let it blend into the background, but really frame my image like so. I can also use a brush. You can use watercolor pencil to get inside all the details like so, and then activate it with water. It's still a little bit not dry here, so you can hardly see this, but right now I don't want to add more wet stuff to my page. I don't want to wait for it to dry, so I'm just continuing with this. And of course you can also use just felt tip markers and color wherever you want. So I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'll be back when I'm finished. Okay, so I finished going around my flowers with the dark green, and also went with the same green all around my page just to frame everything, and I'm really liking it. I'm just going to leave it be. The only thing I'm just going to add is this stamp, and let's hope it will take nicely. It doesn't always because of the deli paper with the glue on top, so I'm just holding it here for a little bit and hope I will have a nice print. If not, not that critical. Okay, so almost good. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. And I will just use this marker to do some correcting. Good enough. I know it's there. I know what it says. Okay, so this is it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.